What up, homies?
Hello, friends.
We were talking about polyamory a lot. We wanted to redirect a little bit to why this whole shit started, why we started this channel, and we're here to talk to y'all about code switching.
What is that?
What is code switching? Code switching is basically talking white.
Code switching is like if I were talking to you like this. My name is Safi Brown.
Right, that's code switching. That's not how the fuck I sound.
Why do we do that?
It is a survival mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. Basically, it's to make white people feel more comfortable. Like everything the fuck else we gotta do. It is to make white people feel safe, that they can relate to us. It's to maintain like a status in white people's eyes. This is not to demonize or ridicule Black and other POC for doing this. We get it.
Yeah.
We do it all the fucking time.
And or people who just talk that way, it's fine, but like the reason why it's a thing is because it's not how we normally talk.
When I talk about code switching, I mean African American vernacular. That is what I was raised around. That's how I spoke. The more I got around white people, the more I started taking on like this lucky white guy voice. Like, hey, my name's Safi Brown. How are you guys? I'm here to talk to y'all about code switching. And like, I say the N-word because it's a part of my vernacular. That's the way I relate to other Black people. Like, that's just the way I move, and it can make white people uncomfortable.
Right. Ooh. They said it wasn't hard R. Like, obviously it wasn't fucking hard R, right?
Oh
Not a slave master. This is my homie. This is my companion.
For me, English is my second language. So code switching for me comes with a lot of like not wanting to seem as stereotypically Latina, not have that influx that makes me just like all the things that I was raised not to be. Like, don't seem uneducated, don't seem low life, don't seem ratchet. Like, otherwise you won't have access to
nice things, basically.
Yeah, in general. But when you hear me with my friends, that's how the fuck I sound. So to make a white feel comfortable, I would make sure not to do that and
tone down.
To enunciate, make sure that I use proper English. I was on a date once and I was with a
Dominican from the Heights.
So we was shooting the shit. We was talking. I was like speaking as I do. And then the waiter came to take our order, and all of a sudden, I guess it's just a reflex. Reflex.
There it is.
It's a reflux.
It's like word vomit. Right?
It just comes out where I see a white and I start to say, oh, hello, how are you? Yes, thank you. And my date actually called me out, like, in front of the wait. Can you fucking imagine that shit? This is drama. Fuck you for doing that shit. And I was like, I'm just trying to be nice, okay?
Right. Which is an amazing point, right? To talk white is to sound nice. It's to sound proper. It's to sound less unruly, less aggressive. And this is not just in a professional setting. I was really with my boy, like at Purchase College, and I was interested in this woman who was white. I asked this nigga, I was like, yo, how do you talk to white girls? He was like, what? Like, what do you mean how you talk to white girls? I was like, I talk the way I talk. How do you like approach a white woman? And we literally sat there and was like trying to debate like how to like approach a white woman to seem like a less aggressive Black man, right? Whether or not that's necessary, I try to hang out with less people who would care about the way I'm approaching them. But it is rooted in this idea that white is the norm. The way white people speak is the norm and everything else is othered. And then when it comes to African American vernacular, at least for me, and Sophia can speak on like Spanish in general, is like, if you don't speak English well, you're less than, you're dumb, you're unprofessional, you're not someone who can be hired anywhere, you're not someone who can have a deep conversation even, because in their heads it's like, how do we get around all this like extra slang or kind of saying that these other languages don't have depth.
Which is just not true. For me, I think almost 100% of the Puerto Ricans that I know personally don't speak, if you're not natives from the island, like don't speak Spanish. Second generation Puerto Ricans, third generation Puerto Ricans. That comes from wanting to assimilate and be considered like normal or just to blend better. Parents and grandparents that didn't want their kids to undergo the same prejudices that they did for not speaking the language properly or having an accent, even just not teaching their kids Spanish.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't the case for me. So that's why I have the issues that I do. But it's okay. I love speaking the way that I do. It's just who I am, you know? Right. And I choose today to be part of the circles, have friends. Unfortunately, I do have a corporate job where I pick up the phone and code switch, but we live in a world where that's what I gotta do.
It's also to say that, like, what do you mean when you tell a POC that they're talking white? That's not the norm. Like, we have access to the language. It's not fair to prescribe talking white when a POC is like using big words. Like, that's fucking crazy. And I've had people say that, like white people say, like, you're not like other black people. Like, what the fuck you mean by that? Because I use the word like paradigm. Like, now you think I'm not like other black people? Nigga, I had access to that word before I even met you.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's really unpacking like what we mean by that and like why we code switch. And like Sophia said, unfortunately we live in a world where like to be professional, it means to talk in this, like, I can't roll up to a job interview talking the way I'm talking right now.
I think, you know, with the climate that we're in, it's a conversation worth having. And although I'm gonna have to continue code switching to exist in America today, I am choosing to have a conversation about why I have to do that, right, and the root of it, and
building community in places where I don't have to fucking code switch.
Exactly. So if you liked this conversation, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, share it, comment, do all that shit, and stay tuned for the next video.
Stay tuned. Peace, homies.